Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. Good evening to you from wherever you're watching from. This is Mayegun Live. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun Diary, gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun dá wa sí. Mayegun Diary, àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun Diary. So as you are joining, if you can do me that favor, share the broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. You probably will learn one or two things from this broadcast. So share it, invite them, because Mayegun today. That is true. My friends on Facebook, it's easier for you to invite the Buhari Deans, the Buhari Diderins, the Buhari Dinotus, the Buhari Dijatus. The Buhari Shukus, the Oneka Aris, the Ungozi Aris, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, the ombud slaves, and on and on and on. Tell them. Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube, Thank you very much. That was Ladipo Market that got burned. You know, that's the leftover of the famous Ladipo Market in Lagos. A lot is happening in Nigeria, as usual. But the recent happenings between Russia and Ukraine is taking the world stage and every headline out there. But there's something that usually you won't be surprised anyway, because Nigerians themselves, they have grown thicker skins. They have become kind of, indifference because of this bad and terrible news that they are accustomed to. Talk about 10 people killed. Oh, well, just 10. Talk about 200 people killed. Wow, that's a lot. 200. Everybody continue, and doesn't really make any word headlines and what have you. Just same thing that happened at Ladipo. Markets in Nigeria, markets in southern Nigeria, all over the place have been catching fire of late. And millions and billions of properties are lost. Nobody is, in fact, as a country, as a government, actually cares. Nobody cares. But the uncareness of your own criminal leaders in Nigeria has rubbed off, not just on those of you who are in Nigeria, including those who have left Nigeria. And that is exactly what we have in Ukraine. There was a kind of alarm raised about 2 weeks ago by this same Western power. They said all their citizens should leave Ukraine. Then nobody was 100% certain that Russia is going to start the whole attack and all of that. But they were certain. So today, why the rest of the world and their citizens who are currently stuck in Ukraine or struggling to cross the border today are doing so. You will never hear that Americans were found at the border, they trekked like Zimbabweans or Zambians or South Africans or Nigerians. So today, we are battling with that for those who came from countries where they felt like maybe it's never going to happen. And then just yesterday, I don't know what is being propagated on social media, how strong the audience, the audience on social media, as well as the audience on probably their mainstream media. But there's something I have also observed. Their media just also raised an alarm that all these Western citizens, Europeans, Americans, and whoever cares for their own citizens, if you are a citizen of any of these countries, you are advised to leave Russia. Now, these two, because of the kind of who we are from Nigeria, that is why this, my own broadcast, is not going to be about who you support or who you are not supporting. It is what you are not possibly supporting because you're not paying attention to it. I know many people will say, what option do you think they have if they have to leave Russia right now? Well, I bet it won't be, if it's not going to be too late, it won't be like that of the Ukraine, where it is complete yam pepper scatter scatter. But this is what I mean. They have raised the alarm now. And as we speak, all their investments in Russia, all their, establishment in Russia, they are beginning to divest them now. They may not make much deal or big deal to you, but if you are in Russia as a student, yeah, I'm not saying that they are going to attack Russia tomorrow, but the impression right now all over the world is that with the way the world is arming and ganging, grouping to defend Ukraine, it may eventually lead to what you and I possibly won't want at some point. Now, being alerted, and at the same time remembering where you come from, then when the chips are down, there are some people who get first chance and better chance than yourself, especially if you are from Nigeria. Okay? So there is the alarm, and as we speak, if you have been following all the barrage of sanctions and all of that against Russia, as you are watching this video right now, they are decimating, they are trying, they are weakening the Russian financial sector, the economy in every way. So, and this is already taking a toll on their own economy in Russia. I'm not saying they can't bounce or weather it or do that. As many of you are professional in this international politics. I am talking about what you are not paying attention to if you consider where you come from. I am from that Nigeria. If UK is going to be attacked tomorrow, and the Americans are calling their citizens back, everyone is calling their citizens back. The evacuation plan for those who are Westerners in UK, when UK is under attack, is never going to be similar to the evacuation plan of Nigeria. And when you receive a warning, what do? You begin to plan yourself ahead, not until when you are Ukrainized, like what happened in Ukraine to our brothers and sisters, because this is it. They have to figure it out. Ukraine is a little bit smaller. In Russia, there are many Nigerians who are studying there too. I am saying this simply because of those who are students there. You are watching me from Russia, and as we speak, Russia is like America to some of you, because nobody can just nuke Russia without expecting Russia to respond. But nuking Russia with nuke or bomb or soldiers and the rest of them, that is a long one. What about the current one that is already going to stifle you, strangulate you? And with what we have witnessed in Ukraine, what do you think your position will be when every chip is down? So we are beginning to see that they've removed Russia banks, Russia financial institutions, and so others, Russia businesses. What have you? They have removed them from SWIFT. I was reading about that. What is SWIFT? SWIFT. They said that is a sort of international or multinational financial text messaging system. So, which means if you are transacting any business as a country or as a business in Nigeria now, if you're transacting a business with America, it is through that SWIFT that your message of a monetary transaction, right, can either get flagged or possibly where people can actually verify that you are genuine. So it's sort of WhatsApp, they say. They say it's a WhatsApp of international businesses. So all these big companies and all of them, they connect through that. So once you are cut off that, yeah, nobody trades with you. And in this regard, in Russia, as we speak, indeed, what do you call it? This barrage of sanctions here and there is taking its toll too. So if it eventually leads to you having to leave, what is your own plan B? Obviously not Nigeria, because many people are realizing that so late right now, especially in Ukraine. As much as we sympathize with them and we continue to, give support, especially all of those who have volunteered themselves, not just providing information, including those who are also raising funds to support the victims of the Ukraine war. But because this is what I see, this is what I found. Russia is not going to be attacked believably. That, it's not going to be attacked just like that. But as we speak, the level of ammunition, weaponry, and the rest of that they are moving into Ukraine or Ukraine border and the rest now, as well as the determination, they are doing peace talk now. Us in Africa would rather say, may God just bring peace, make all of these things just go away, okay? But I remember that they were doing a peace talk when Putin and when Russia moved all their soldiers, weaponry close to the border of Ukraine. They didn't launch. At some point, they said they are already withdrawing. So with the belief that they were never going to attack Ukraine. Okay? So, but as we speak right now, they said they are having a peace talk in Russia, in Belarus. Okay? So they're having peace talk in Belarus. Meanwhile, the same Belarus and they have done a referendum that says that Russia, that put them out of a neutrality of a nuclear nation, non-nuclear member. So now, which means now that they are now nuclear, so it means Russia can move their nuclear weapon close to Belarus, and that's so close to Ukraine as well, and the rest of the world as well. America they've already built $3 billion. They've given them $300 million, right? The moment Russia fired the first shot, America gave them $300 million. They've already budgeted $3 billion for Ukraine. They are already sending what do you call it? Fighter jet, what do they call them? Anti-missile, this and that to Ukraine. Belarus is also mobilizing to join Russia in in Ukraine. So, in a nutshell, what people are saying is that the West probably are envisaging, they are envisaging something longer that will be difficult for those who are their citizens who are going to be in Russia, find it difficult to escape or leave. They haven't got there yet, though. There's no much but there are also impression that, yes, Ukraine is not actually the center or it's not really the real target. That there's a big fish that they are trying to drag out. Maybe the big fish is they know themselves, okay? And they quickly want to tame this. We don't know how it's going to go. But whatever it is, consider yourself in this scenario. Don't look at this as somebody who is an expert in this international this and that. That's not the point now. The point here is this. You as a black person, you as a black man or a black woman, a Nigerian to be precise, use that, in fact, use as a Nigerian. when the shove come to push, I've been a push come to shove, whatever, where do you find yourself? Who do you think, or where do you think you will land? Me, as a person, if eventually they are coming here, there is no two way to it. Okay? When the sky is still open, I can grab what I can grab, and then, find a safety for myself and my family. And when it gets to a point whereby you have to fight, Baba, of course you have to fight. No. But here you are. This message is not for those in Nigeria. So don't mix it up. All right? Because we know what they have done to you. Some of you, or let me say, majority of you today, all of these things happening in Ukraine, they are not new. Can a big deal? Who sent them there? That's your feeling. Okay? So I'm talking to people who believe right now that they have their lives figured out. Now, here we are in the whole turmoil. Some of them are still there in Russia. Some are in that Ukraine. Some of them are still in some of these NATO, NATO countries, including myself here in the UK. But we are far from Russia, at least. But I'm talking about those neighbors who have you there, like in Poland, in Romania, all those places. So you probably feel like you have your life figured out, like our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. Some of you, including Poland, God bless you, some of you have been feeling like, yes, Nigeria may be bad, but you still love Nigeria from abroad, like our brothers and sisters in Ukraine. The reason why many of you feel like you have figured, it's not because you have become this, what most people want or always dream of. I want to become rich or that. No. You find out that all you need in life is just stability. Stability. If you are living in a place that is stable enough to allow you to pursue your own potential to its fullest, no matter the limitation that comes your way, but somehow you've left Nigeria and you are now at that stage. You come out, somehow you have figured out your life. Then all of a sudden, boom. But before that, despite you are far away there, you are still kind of a proud Nigerian. Now, I am not trying to judge you. I'm only trying to say, let's put this scenario in perspective. The people who once told their own citizens to leave Ukraine, where many of you, international political, international relation expert, international this and that, were telling us what you thought would happen. Then this happened. And if the scenario continues and you find yourself as refugees in these places, is it that then that you will realize that Nigeria that they want us to hold on to, the Nigeria that has done so much damages to the psyches of those who are back in Nigeria, by those who want to make life even better, either whether you are home or abroad, that Nigeria they are telling you to hold so dear, do you think it will come to your aid like it did for our brothers and sisters in Ukraine? It's a warning and it's a progression. And as things are going, if it ever gets escalated, what is your plan? Today, they are saying that all Ukrainians, with people with Ukrainian passports, they can travel to Germany. There's a train taking them from Poland to Germany, free. No visa, no nothing. There are those that are told that, Ukrainian, you Ukrainian? Yeah, you jump in first. But because of the uproar, the cries of those who are not Ukrainians, students, like some of you are watching me right now from Russia, is the one you, right? Until the uproar, the cry, the outcry, they want to kill us. We have been working for days. We got to the border safely. Now, they want to shoot us. They want to kill us. We are students. This kind of scenario should play in your head a bit. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to bring you to that reality and think about it for a minute. From that comfort zone, so close to the war zone, what do you think Nigeria is asking you to do as the safety before it happens? I'm just asking.
We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We are students. We are students. We don't have arms. We are students. We are students. Pablo, we are students. We are dying. We are dying of cold. We are dying of cold. We are dying of cold. Everybody go down. Everybody go down. We are dying of cold. We've been here for 3 days. We died of cold. This is unfair. This is unfair. Why point gun as foreigners? Why point gun as guns? Why point gun on us? You have to find a Russian. Please go on live on Instagram. We don't have arms. We don't have arms. We don't have gun on us. We are students. We are students. Gun on us. What the fuck is happening? What? We don't run. We don't have arms. We got nothing. We don't have arms. We have nothing. We are students. 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 What's up? We are students. We are students. You don't understand. We're gonna blood so you cannot solve. Dude, they can't shoot us off. Thank you. Thank you.
As refugees, they traveled to Ukraine, and to study. They traveled to Ukraine for education, and they ended up as refugees in different countries around Ukraine. Situation changed, and here we are. Nigeria can, and now they are telling us to be wary of what is possibly coming. And it is good to possibly tell ourselves that we are just sojourners in all these parts of the world. At a time, we are going to be reminded of who we are, and where we are from. And that is more reason why when what the politicians in Nigeria, what they have done to that country and the people should never be forgiven by anyone at all, especially those who still have their conscience. Usually you wouldn't expect that to come from Europe, would you? When you are watching all the broadcast about kidnappings, ransackings of villages in northern Nigeria, in eastern Nigeria, in southwest Nigeria, when you watch all these videos from the comfort of your own rooms in diaspora, you probably would never believe a day will come that many of our own brothers and sisters in Europe, these are not people who are trying to cross the border or trying to cross the desert. These are not people who are trying to travel to Europe by sea, by canoe or by trekking the desert. These are people who are settled down and they thought they had their lives figured out. Do you get what I mean? So probably you never thought a day would come that you would see such things that you have been seeing in seeing in Nigeria in the past few years. So it's a call for sober reflection. Let me show you something that is similar to it, so that you will know that if not because of the damages done by the rogues and the criminals in Nigeria, the empathy they took away from the people and the people they destroyed internally, our fight to to a better life or for families and the rest are never 100% going to always be from abroad, so to say. It's always going to be from where we come from. But the politicians in Nigeria destroyed us so much. They did that so well, so much that our people are so weak to even fight back. So look at this. This is something similar. Whatever you see out there right now has been happening in Nigeria. But you see those living in Nigeria, the politicians there, they have destroyed them psychologically so bad that they don't even give a damn. It's not new. This was January 2021.
Yeah. Due to that crisis, Fulani crisis that was occurred at our country, that's the reason why we migrated to this place. We are forcefully migrated to this place due to that.
By force.
By force. It's not by willingness.
Women. Man or women. How much are us, man or women?
Only you.
Are dying here.
Both the women and men migrated from that area.
No.
And
how
then
much?
people died.
But I say how many people they killed there?
Okay.
Killer.
There are few many people. But that our many people. Many people have lost their lives.
People are
Still migrating because of that. At Bondudu and all other areas.
What happened?
It's because of the Fulani crisis. Fulani, they are killing the people anyhow.
They are killing the people.
Anyhow, they will move from any village, from one village to another. They will migrate from one place to another. They just keep people. That's the reason why the people are scared. They move down to the
So, but if you check with the people in Nigeria, you see that video, that incident, right? Saw tens of thousands of people run away from their villages to the neighboring country in Yoruba land. But you see that incident, many people in many people in the same state that it happened, Ogun State, they have no clue that happened. Talk less of even knowing the people who are the victims. I have been playing this video for the past 1 year, and their reaction is the same. Nothing. As long as nobody is stopping them from going out to start their own Okada to go and make their own money for that day, there is no problem. Do you understand? It is what the politicians in Nigeria did to them and their psyche. They have been destroyed psychologically. Nothing moves them until it happens to them. So when something happened to them, for example, right? When they are like when their loved one dies in a ghastly motor accident because of a rickety car they are in or a terrible road they are driving on, right? That is the moment they feel the agony of what Nigeria is. But they will soon, instead of that agony or that pain, to get them to make a move and put an end to it and begin to have that spirit of, we will end this until it happens to somebody else. I won't let this happen to somebody else, right? That pain, always like kind of cemented them. From that moment on, nothing really moves them. And if you check many of these Nigerians who have suffered this kind of, preventable pains, then you realize that as long as they are still alive, Whoever dies, well, whoever get displaced, well, God help them. It is not normal. It is as a result of decades of abuses where people have no right to even demand for what is right. So everybody now turned the place to the survival of the fittest. And what do you get from the survival of the fittest? It is dog eats dog. And that's exactly what you have. Nobody feels it. People, children, 5 or just say 6 pregnant women, they were put to forced labor because they were running away from those communities. They put to labor, they gave birth in forceful birth while running away from their killers. Well, there's absolute nothing there in Ogun State. It doesn't move them. And when it doesn't move you, how do you expect it to move the world? Look at Ukraine. Oh. They are bombing Ukraine now. Kiev and the rest, they have stood their ground. They said Russia planned to capture Ukraine within 2 days. Now, it has lasted for more than 5 days now. Right? Last, even if it lasts for 10 days or 1 week, 1 month or what have you, there is something I have also figured out. The reaction of the rest of the world to this Ukraine and the reaction of the rest of the world to, when it comes to war, to Arab world and Africa. Now this Ukraine gave me the idea better. As they are bombing Ukraine, as they have told us now that more than 120 civilians have been confirmed killed, and thousands of Russian soldiers and Ukrainian soldiers have also died. Unverified figure yet, okay? Despite all of that, yeah, I found out that the money they will use to rebuild Ukraine, they've already put that aside as we are talking now. So the limited the damages, the better. But whatever the damages is, right, they are already in position of how they are going to reconstruct. And this is what I figured out. On our TV here in the UK, and when I was also like browsing through so many other TV, this broadcasting TV all over the world, CNN, TV France, this France 8 or something, right? BBC, Sky News, and the rest of them, they are all raging that there is war in Europe. Yeah, that somebody could be bombing Europe. And in their words, they are like, this is not Africa. This is not Afghanistan or Iraq. You see those images of things. Thank you very much. France 24, the English version, Al Jazeera English. You browse through all of them, you will confirm what I'm telling you right now. Their reaction and their anger towards Putin right now, when the images of those blasts are showing up online, on TV, their presenters, they are saying, hey, how could this be happening? This is not Afghanistan. This is not Iraq. This is not Africa. How could anybody let Putin do this? Do you get that? But that means the only place that is ripe, the only place that are good for bombing, to rumble children, bombing children to pieces, bombing civilians, turning people to refugees. When they saw videos of Ukrainians who are going into different borders as refugees, as you are watching this video, they said over 890 Ukrainians are now refugees all across Europe right now. Not only your brothers and sisters are trying to cross the border, you know the story. Over almost 1 million Ukraine is a country of 45 million, okay? Over 1 million in the last 5 days are now refugees. And to them, that's unacceptable. Oh, you need to let them in. These are, they are even debating like, these are the people you love to be your neighbor. But you all remember the reaction of this same Europe when the refugee from Afghanistan, refugee from Iraq, Syria, Iran, when they were crossed, nobody was saying, give them, let them come. Everybody was like, no. You get what I mean? So back in Nigeria, where I found out that despite the bombing in Ukraine, all their rail line, all the new bridges they are going to build, all the new flats they are going to build, right? All the money for that, they already have the money. The entire Europe, they are ready to take all the Ukrainians in until this thing finish. But you and me, where do we fit in all of this? Possibly nowhere. So the politicians that did this to us in Nigeria, they don't deserve forgiveness. If you have, because look at it this way. When you look at some of the countries, they are already applying to be part of EU now. They are applying to be part of that NATO now. All the peace talk right now is not, all of us know the reason why Russia said they are fighting them. And the reason why many of you are siding with Russia or siding with Ukraine. Ukraine is an independent country. They should be able to make their own decision, rightly so. Russia is a nuclear country, and it's also one of the powerful countries in the world because they have nuclear head. In fact, they have more nuclear head than America, according to them, right? So then they have history with the West. They have history with with America. Yeah. So they told us this. Meanwhile, it's not they told us. You all know that it was this former Soviet Union country that formed. When they were still USSR, they formed a bloc that was to be sharing information, intel on science, technology, and all of that. That made the former USSR a world power. Okay, so because of the fear of what USSR could do, that was what gave birth to NATO. Okay. So NATO, which America is part of, they decided to say, well, they are going to always checkmate the USSR, which Russia is the head of it, okay? So history, this one is history now, okay? So when this Cuba Missile, whatever war that led to the Cold War, when USSR, because they were so good, right? They decided to go and, establish a military base in Cuba so that they can put their own nuclear weapon and what have you very close, 90 miles from Florida. So that was a threat to America. America resisted it, and you all know that Cuba suffered it even to this day. And they said that's one of the reasons why America couldn't attack Cuba as small as, Cuba was. Is to America. Long story. So fast forward to the 21st century, right? These free former Soviet countries, they are free to make their decisions and all of them, right? And they said, when the Cold War ended, that there is an unwritten agreement between Russia and America, that America will never bring their military close to the border of Russia. Now, wait till you read that, I'm not fighting all of you professionals, because some of you are really professionals in international, whatever, okay? But I stand to be corrected, okay? I stand to be corrected in all of this. So fast forward to 21st century. There is an attempt by Ukraine to join NATO. But why is Russia angry? Ukraine is not the only former Soviet Union or former Soviet member that is now part of NATO. There are those who are non-allied There are those who are actually members of NATO. Poland is a member of NATO, I've been told. And I bet Poland was one of those areas annexed by USSR at the time. You remember? I don't know. And I've been told that there are a few countries who are former USSR who are part of NATO. So that statement that former USSR country agreed that they will never join NATO, that is not true. I found out. Anyway, America, they believe that if Ukraine join, America is going to, or NATO is going to come and set up their base in Ukraine, because they will be a member. Okay? But in all of that, again, I actually don't really want to make this about Ukraine and all that. But in all of that, we back home who found ourselves in all these countries in Europe. If many of you actually know that if the politicians in Nigeria are sincere with you, honest, sincere, I'm not saying they should be saints. There's no saint politician or anything anywhere. Do you get what I mean now? But being sincere, patriotic to their country is always going to be what? Advantageous to their own citizens. Because look at it this way. Nigerians always look for excuses to leave Nigeria for things that they could get in Nigeria. Basic things like education, for example, right? You will see our people in different kind of all these European countries who are also struggling. When I say struggling, some of our people got there to find out. And when they found out, well, at least they have electricity. That is the only consolation that most people finally had to console themselves in living in many of these countries. You want to talk about the cold, the weather. You want to talk about the language barrier. You want to talk about the racism and so many other things that will never make you go there and say, I won't go study for Ukraine. If Obafemi Awolowo, you never